Those who admire a new building give little thought to the essential features of it that run under the ground. Before you can build, you have to prepare the site. In Thurrock, 100 years of heavy industry had taken its toll of the land. The greater the breadth of vision for future development, the more complex the preparatory works and infrastructure planning. This is the story of a district that changed its character in a decade. The borough of Thurrock in the southwest corner of Essex. In July 1976, the massive tunnel cement works at West Thurrock, which dated from 1874, was forced to close, along with other heavy industries in the district. The 1973 energy crisis, which quadrupled fuel prices, had taken its toll of obsolescent plant. What does a company do with 1,000 acres of land in a severely depressed area, much of it derelict? The future tunnel estate, the abandoned chalk quarry, and the former cement works was situated alongside the Dartford Tunnel approach road, eventually to become incorporated into the M25 orbital motorway around London. Although the motorway was many years away, the strategic location of the property made it worthy of a substantial investment. On the London-Tilbury axis, with the Dartford Tunnel under the Thames leading to the Channel ports, with preliminary work starting on the motorway to the north, this was a site with a future. But where do you start? The first task was to salvage and sell such plant and machinery as could be reused elsewhere. This cement mill was bought by Blue Circle for the Mexico works. And this mill was taken to the company's works near Mold in North Wales. The rail track and rolling stock was sold for refurbishment. Redundant buildings and structures were demolished in phases to make room for the refurbishment of those which had some potential for letting. An embryo estate was created from those buildings which remained to provide nursery units for such diverse enterprises as transport depots, engineering workshops, and steel fabrication. Even a cement works locomotive and road sweeper were pressed back into service. In 1980, the company had 50 tenants and a rent roll which covered its operating costs. The cement works leased a major part of its chalk quarries from the neighbouring landowners, Whitehall Securities Corporation, a subsidiary company of Pearson plc, a multinational group, better known perhaps as proprietors of Royal Doulton China, Lazard's Bank and Madame Tussauds, and of such diverse publishing groups as Penguin Books and the Financial Times. The two companies structured terms to work together with the local authorities to provide a whole new infrastructure for their adjoining lands. Together they comprised a gross area of 370 acres. The Essex County Council and Thurrock Council produced development proposals for the district. As the highway authority, it was the county's responsibility to engineer a road system to serve the needs of the burgeoning district. Just before Christmas 1982, the aspirations of the parties were finalized in a planning agreement signed by the landowners and the local authorities. The landowners were to provide landscaping, estate roads, sewerage and services, and the county council joined with them in providing the main spine road. The companies were granted the planning consents they required to proceed with marketing, and work began in earnest. RTZ undertook, as part of their planning agreement, a complete scheme of landscaping, including raising the quarry floor by about 10 feet and sculpturing the chalk base around the estate. After reshaping the quarry, 15,000 saplings and shrubs were planted. The new road across the quarry was opened by the Secretary of State for the Environment, the Right Honourable Patrick Jenkin, on the 25th of September 1984. It was christened West Thurrock Way. It is 2,000 metres long and cost £3 million. RTZ and Pearson were at work putting in other estate roads, electricity, telecommunications, gas, town water and sewers. The concrete rubble from the former cement works was crushed to provide sub-base material for the estate roads. As part of the agreement, RTZ had to manage a £1 million contract for the Anglian Water Authority to construct a pumping station and a 1,200mm diameter surface water outfall to the River Thames. As well as serving the new estates, this pipeline forms an integral part of the district drainage system. By May 1984, RTZ had their land ready for development. To give an otherwise bare 370 acres some identity, they built a landmark in the form of a clock tower. The 110-foot-high triangular concrete structure, designed by their landscape architects to complement the planting and contouring scheme, displays the time and temperature for the benefit of all users of the M25 motorway. Pearson had secured an agreement with Tesco for a hypermarket of 100,000 square feet on their estate Lakeside, and this was opened in the same year. It has many facilities for shoppers, such as a children's playground, restaurant, and petrol station. With its 1,100 car spaces and 40 checkouts, it is one of the largest stores operated by Tesco and attracts many thousands of customers each week. RTZ were also attracting well-known occupiers. The Automobile Association were one of their first tenants on the new estate. They built a relay depot for their nationwide breakdown service, and it was opened by the Director General of the AA.
Added pleasure to be able to unveil this plaque to commemorate officially the opening of this depot. Thank you all very much for being here.
Marks and Spencer decided to build one of the largest distribution warehouses in Britain on the tunnel estate, comprising 250,000 square feet of storage space. This impressive facility supports some of their retail outlets in the southeast with racked goods. One of the industrialists to be attracted to the tunnel estate was Boral Edenhall Concrete Products. This Australian group produce a wide range of concrete pavers and blocks. Pearson have also been successful in attracting industrialists to their Lakeside estate. They speculatively built a development called Lake Rise Estate of 9 small industrial units of different sizes. On another part of Lakeside, Pearson have built for Lancaster Garages a Mercedes commercial vehicle centre. In 1986, both companies were granted planning consent for retail warehouses. Again, planning agreements were negotiated with the borough and the county councils, whereby the landowners contributed to highway improvements. RTZ had occupiers ready to build, and within a year new retail warehouses were operated.